The I Love CVille Show. It's great to connect with you through the I Love CVille Network in our studio in downtown Charlottesville, where in a lot of ways we are in the eye of the political storm. Today's show, a reflection of that. We had a heavy hitter in downtown Charlottesville. How would you characterize him? Prolific landlord, real estate owner in the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County. Swing by the studio today for some work that we're going to do for him and for perhaps the real reason, some conversation on utilizing our platform to position the Supreme Court ruling with the banning of outdoor sleeping into the front and center limelight of our community. I'm going to ask this question: what organization or which person or which group of people will push or persuade Charlottesville City Council to utilize the Supreme Court ruling that allows cities and jurisdictions to ban outdoor sleeping? Who is going to keep this in the eyes of council and make it potentially a conversation on the dais? I have some answers for you today. We'll talk the article in the Daily Progress this morning about the University of Virginia withholding the diplomas of 4 students that were part of the pro-Palestine pepper spraying pickle. These students are without a degree, and they have indicated they won't find out if they can get their degree or not until they go to a trial in the fall before their fellow students, the University Judiciary Committee. And until they go to this trial and get the green light or the red light with their diploma, they're in employment purgatory, with one student saying, "I have done everything expected to me, grade and academic and credit-wise, to graduate, but I cannot say on my resume that I'm an official graduate of the University of Virginia without this diploma, and all the jobs I'm applying for require a bachelor's degree, so no one will hire me." Jesus, Judah. We'll talk about that today on the I Love CVille Show. Also on the program, we will discuss Fredericksburg Public Schools banning cell phones. I'll give you a little bit of tease of this story. The Fredericksburg school system voted on Monday, the school board of Fredericksburg unanimously, to pass a policy that bans students from using cell phones as well as other personal devices that are not provided by the school system when instruction is taking place. No tablets, no personal computers, no cell phones, unless the public school system of Fredericksburg provides it to the student. Wow. Will we see more momentum of this across the Commonwealth? We'll talk on today's program, Mudhouse expanding to Richmond, and a Lynchburg school board member who is in a little bit of a media crossfire because of his political donations to Lynchburg city councilors. These city councilors appoint the school board members rather than what we have here in Charlottesville and Albemarle County and much of Central Virginia, all of Central Virginia, where the school board members are elected. Do me a favor, like the show and share the show. If you have questions, put them in the feed and we will relay them live on air. If you could also do us the favor, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. We have 992 on YouTube. We try to grow each of our platforms. Bill McChesney, we appreciate you liking the show. And he's got a comment on the Carlton trailer park. I want to welcome Judah Wickower to the show. He's going to set the stage with the who, what, when, where, and why on the $7 million offer received on the Carlton trailer park, with residents of this trailer park now in residential limbo. Mr. McChesney says, Judah and Jerry, regarding, and if you want to get Bill's photo on screen and put the first, lower, third up, he says, regarding the Carlton trailer park, it will go the way of the others. There was a moderately sized trailer park between Harris Street and Adelaide Lane. Ironically, the Habitat store is in that space right now. If you could, Judah Wickower, set the stage for us, please. Thank you, Philip Dow, for liking the show.
Well, The family is living in the Carlton, the Carlton mobile home park. Just got news less than a month ago. A letter from the owners dated June 7th, letting them know that the owners have received a $7 million offer for the property and that they are poised to accept it. This doesn't leave, obviously they don't have to move out right away. It remains to be seen. The deal has yet to go through, and it remains to be seen what the new owners will do with the property. But, I mean, does anyone really think that the new owners are going to keep it the way it is and not not raise the price?
I would say the future, if this trailer park is acquired in a $7 million deal, the future of this park is not one with trailers.
Yeah.
Is there a business model for trailer park rent collection? Absolutely. I have two friends that are in the trailer park ownership game. Mm-hmm. The challenge for the trailer park ownership game, according to my friends, and you have us framed correctly. It looks like my shot's a little off over there. Mm-hmm. One of my friends who's in this game said rent collection is an obvious challenge. And one of his employees goes door to door of the trailers in the park that he owns, knocks on the door to collect rent. The second challenge he has found is eviction. Eviction when needed. This trailer park...
Is that a worry in this case, though?
I'm just saying what my buddy does with his particular business model. I would think what's going to happen with this, and this is the Carlton Mobile Home Park as he's highlighted. This is a prime piece of property. And there's few prime pieces of property left in the city of Charlottesville. And 60 families currently call this home, Judah?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
6-acre property in Charlottesville's Belmont neighborhood. Again, Charlottesville tomorrow with the reporting. I want to offer a side note or a sidebar. Charlottesville tomorrow, your news team, when you write content about real estate and zoning and business and the crossroads of real estate, zoning, and business with local policy and local government, I love to read it. Please write more content like this. The Charlottesville Tomorrow of yesteryear, led by Brian Wheeler, and with the legwork of Sean Tubbs, that was about zoning and real estate and government, was fantastic. Just a suggestion. This trailer park is prime for development because of a number of reasons. The city is landlocked. The city has few parcels of land left to develop. The cost of housing is astronomical and only increasing. The demand for buying housing in Charlottesville is off the charts and only increasing. If you're a business owner and you can scoop up 6 acres and you can put apartments, townhomes, single-family detached housing, cottages, whatever the hell you're going to put on there, they're going to sell all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. What you do if you're the residents of the Carlton Mobile Home Trailer Park, I empathize for them.
Yeah. Despite what it sounds like, I doubt most of these homes are very mobile.
That's another difficult aspect of mobile home parks. They are not often, not saying every time, the most well-kept. So when they do end up needing to be removed from the park, often due to past due rent, eviction, they are generally in shambles or in disarray. A good example of what we saw was on Country Green, down 5th Street Extended, behind Jim Shank's Barbershop, across from the villas at Southern Ridge, close to Redfields, across from the Albemarle County Police Department. There was a trailer park that was visible from 5th Street Extended. A friend of mine owned that trailer park. When they cleared that park, and they cleared it, have you been that way? Your parents lived that way. Have you
Yeah.
been down the road by the villas, Old Lynchburg Road, recently?
No, I haven't been down that road in a long
They
time.
have a very nice gas station.
Yeah.
Jim Shank's barbershop is not there. It's storage for the convenience store. The gas station is busy, and to build that gas station, they had to take out the trailers there.
Really?
My friend who owned it said it was a process to do this. The owner was sympathetic or empathetic of those who owned there, but he also needed to run a business. And when rent collection became an issue, the conversation with eviction became a topic. And when the trailers could not mobilize on their own, the owners were often left in this position. Where am I going to take a trailer that is no longer mobile? So they often leave the trailers behind, which is a sad state because that's their home. And when you're in this position, this is, in a lot of ways, the last resort before houselessness and homelessness, especially when your trailer is ramshackled and you're in a state of eviction, your trailer can't move, it's in disarray, and the owner of the park says you gotta go and you can't move your trailer.
Okay,
so what ends up happening...
Not all of them are ramshackle.
Not all of them are. I'm just talking this particular situation off of Old Lynchburg. And what happened in this particular situation was the eviction, the notices were issued, the rent could not be collected. What was left was the trailer that helped offset some of the rent that was due. And then the owner of the park was left with beat up trailers to potentially rent again himself or just have removed, taken to the dump, destroyed, or sold for parts. Now, what do you think is the storyline with this topic here, from your standpoint?
The storyline, I mean, it's just a tragedy. I mean, you know, this guy is saying that he's spent money. He's laid a stone patio, built an awning over the patio, added a picket fence, for the family dog, and with this sale, they could have, I believe it's less than a month. I think the buying company, if they want to move the people, has to provide them with something like $5,000 to help them move. But if that's not enough, then what do? Yeah. The new owner would be required to pay each resident who owns their own trailer $5,000 to help with moving expenses. But is $5,000 going to be enough?
$5,000 is close to being enough.
If it is enough, where do you move it?
Exactly.
And if you've put in stuff like a stone set of stairs...
I'm also very curious of the ability to put in a stone patio around your trailer.
It doesn't necessarily have to be an entire patio surrounding the trailer. I think it's just there's a picture of the guy. Imagine putting like a patio out the front door with a set of stairs on it.
Well, my point is this: you often don't. You're renting the parcel, the slip.
You mean the land?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, does that stone patio, that set of stairs, stay with the owner as an improvement to his land?
Are you saying it's a bad idea to do something like that? I mean, this place has been around since the 70s.
No, I understand that, but I don't think the person owns that stone patio or set of stairs. They can do the work, they can improve the land, the slip where the trailer goes, but they don't get to keep that. When you're renting from landlords, it's very clear-cut in leases. Like our leases with who we rent with our tenants, if improvements are made to the office space, the improvement... No. I want to be exact what it says. If tenants want to make improvements to the office spaces they rent from us, first they have to get approval from me. Then they have to submit plans or drawings of what they're going to do. Once the plans or drawings are submitted, I look at them, we vet them. Then we say yay or nay. After yay or nay, the lease clear-cut says, if we approve this, it stays with, it conveys, it stays with the ownership, with landlord. So if they choose to make the office better in any capacity, they can do it if it's approved. But when their lease is up or they choose to move out, the improvement they made to the space stays with the space.
So you're arguing under your argument is basically stating that is talking about people that don't own their mobile home.
Whether they own it or not, if they're making improvements, if they're doing stuff outside the home that's tied to the land, I doubt that that's going to be able to go with them.
Well,
but that's minutia here. That's not the story.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not the story. The story is this: 60 families are on the cusp of needing to find another park, and the likelihood of finding another park in this area is difficult.
This is one of two, right?
That's the point. That's the story.
Very difficult.
Yeah. If you don't have this park, where you're going to go to Buckingham? You're going to go to Louisa?
Who knows?
They're not prolific, these trailer parks in the area of Charlottesville, Albemarle County. Why they're not prolific? Probably community backlash. Why they're not prolific? The land's so expensive, you could build $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 houses, rent high-end apartments on there instead of doing trailers. Why they're not being prolific? What I said, my buddy who owns a model like this, it's a difficult model to run. Rent collection's difficult. You're often left with trailers that are dilapidated when the lease expires or if you have to evict. Few people. There's types of businesses where you can, if you run the business, you have like this moat around the business. You know what I mean by that? A moat around a business. Like some businesses are so difficult to get off the ground and to start and to launch that barrier of entry creates a proverbial moat around your business, which often keeps competition from entering the space. Like think about the businesses in the community that are not deep in competition out there. I mean, the ones that are extremely deep in competition, food and beverage, right? Realtors, extremely deep in competition, right? There's lines of work out there that requires this so much barrier of entry to get into, which keeps the space less saturated of competition. This is one of them. Dot the I's and cross the T's for us on this before we go to the next topic.
I mean, this guy talks about Carrasio as one of the trailer owners, and again, a lot of this seems to be more about actual trailer owners rather than people just renting a trailer in a park. He says he spent many hours making it the home he and his family are proud of. I guess I'll leave it with, is this a byproduct of the new zoning?
It's odd because the new zoning is all about density, and trailer parks are density.
But that's 6 acres of land that's prime real estate, like you said.
Does the density upside or opportunity of the density cannibalize the density that already exists? And the density upside, the opportunity density that could go there, is going to cater to a socioeconomic demographic that is very different than this one.
Somebody wants to make money.
So we're another example of
with a trailer park.
Another example of
unintended consequences.
Gentrification and unintended consequences. Follow this story closely, viewers and listeners. Kevin Higgins watching the show. His photo on screen. The storyline is Charlottesville will soon be the new Manhattan, Everything is pointing in that direction. 10 years from now, we will see skyscraper apartments. It's coming. You have to go up. Kevin Yancey watching the program in Waynesboro. Kevin Higgins watching the program in Greenwood. Logan Wells Clayla, we always appreciate your support on the show. Viewers and listeners, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel, that would mean the world to us. Bill McChesney offered perspective. There are areas off Carlton that were trailer parks. The majority of the homes around Reeves, and Nassau Street. Reeves and Nassau Street were trailers and have been redeveloped. I rented a place in a basement on Little Grave Street. I used to live on Little Grave Street too, Bill, at 208 Little Graves. Bill McChesney says, I rented a place in a basement on Little Grave Street. I made a few improvements to it. My landlord deducted my material costs for my rent. I didn't take anything with me. And he asked, what is the density zone in that area? Does the CVille Tomorrow story highlight the density in the new zoning ordinance, what that can become? If it does, I would love to know that as well. If it's not in the article, I wish CVille Tomorrow had put it in the article. John Blair, thank you for watching the program. Folks at the TV station down the street watching us here on the show.
No, I've got nothing on density or zoning.
That's unfortunate, as I think you hit on a subplot of this story. How does the new zoning ordinance impact, if Deep Throat's watching this program, this is right up his alley. Ginny Hu, welcome to the show. How does the new zoning ordinance impact the trailer park from an opportunistic standpoint?
Yeah.
Deep Throat says, nobody is paying $7 million for a park of that size just to keep it a trailer park. Additionally, the time to convert is now, as legislation will only make it harder later. More protections coming into play for slip renters. I would love to know, Deep Throat, you're watching from Montana right now, what the upzoning opportunity for that Carlton home trailer park is. Charlottesville Tomorrow, you would think that would be a subplot to cover in the story. Not only about the deal that's on the horizon, but how has the new zoning ordinance made this trailer park more opportunistic to investors and developers?
Yeah.
This has come in via Facebook DM. He clearly says he wants to be on the DL about this, Judah. Assessors in the city and county taxing at highest and best use, which counters community desire for affordable options, plus not in my backyard, all in the same topic, equals few mobile home parks here, and they are full, detailed experience in this space. He's saying he's got experience in this space. I'm going to read what he just said again, and this guy's in the development space. He says, assessors in the city and county taxing at the highest and best use, which counters community desire for affordable options, plus not in my backyard, all in the same topic, equals few mobile home parks here, and they are full. And I have experience in this space, he says. Judah, don't slip and use his name here if you're reading the Facebook DMs. A great example of what he's talking about is what's happening to Ludwig Kutner and Alan Kajin at Ix Art Park. Its Art Park is being taxed at its fullest or best use.
Yeah.
And its fullest and best use, its top use, is not a art park that's home to a farmer's market and some locally owned retail shops and a brewery.
Right.
Its fullest and best use is what, 17 acres with some housing, some condos, some apartments.
Yeah.
And he straight up said this could impact the viability and the lifespan of this art park here. We're getting hammered left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Deep Throat says it is zone RX3. No hard limits on units. So you, my friend, are 3 for 3 with a fantastic performance on the show, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Deep Throat says, so residential mixed use with the RX3, you can't go very high, but you can have pretty extreme massing there. So the question that you asked was a question that was not covered in the Charlottesville Tomorrow story. And you asked very succinctly, how does the new zoning ordinance impact the opportunity to buy this trailer park? And does this new zoning ordinance encourage people to buy what is already dense housing, destroy it, and make expensive, dense housing. So in a lot of ways, this is the antithesis of what the new zoning ordinance, Livable CVille, the urbanist policy group, and what housing activists have championed or advocated. The housing activists championed and advocated for this. If we increase the density, we will have housing affordability because we will have more supply, and the additional supply will stabilize prices. Instead, what we have seen is two very good examples in a very short period of time. The Rancher at 303 Alderman Road in Lewis Mountain trade for $835,000, purchased by a local builder. Follow very closely what that becomes.
Yeah.
And then if this trailer park gets sold for $7 million, is acquired for $7 million, and the 60 families who are paying arguably the most affordable rent in the city.
Why would you say that?
Because they're living in trailers.
Yeah, but some of them own them. They may be paying...
They pay to rent the slip.
Yeah.
Just because they own the trailer, they're renting the slip the trailer is in. That's how the trailer park makes money.
I know.
So they're paying the most affordable rent in the city. And a lot of people, just because you own the trailer doesn't mean you don't have a mortgage on the trailer and aren't making a monthly payment on the trailer.
I know. That's why I'm surprised you're saying it's the cheapest place in the city. It may not be.
Find me some more affordable places in the city of Charlottesville for monthly rent.
But you don't know what their mortgage is, and you don't know how much the cost of the slip is. I'm just saying, you're making assumptions about the...
Okay. I'll rephrase. Thank you for holding me accountable. I will rephrase. I will rephrase. The ones that own the trailers do not have the lowest monthly payment in the city. The ones that are renting the trailers probably are in the category of some of the lowest monthly rent in the city.
Okay.
You disagree? You push back on that?
I don't know.
This is my space.
All right. Well, fine.
Okay, so the new zoning ordinance and the upzoning opportunity and potential could destroy affordable housing.
I mean, one would think that this is one of the... I mean, whoever it is that put the offer on this...
is nuanced and sophisticated and knows what's going on.
They picked the best... If there's no land that hasn't already been developed, and so you're going to have to tear something down no matter where you try to build in the city, what would be easier, tearing down an actual house with a foundation, or tearing down...
Or removing trailers from 6 acres.
Yeah.
God, you're on point this week, dude.
Thank you.
This is the Judah Wickower right here. You're 100,000%. That's beautifully said.
Yeah.
It's like how they've said the activists, the upzoning champions, what did they think was going to happen? The land and the dirt and the houses that were priced the cheapest were the ones that were going to be razed and destroyed and redeveloped.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be the Park Street, Rugby,
Nobody
Barracks,
Rugby.
Greenbrier.
Yeah. Nobody's selling their house to have it developed in...
And that's why I'm convinced the 303 Alderman Road that traded for $835,000, was it Evergreen? I should know this. My memory's pretty good. I'm going to the GIS right now. And they're a reputable local company. I hope this gets back to them, that I give them props. 303 Alderman Road, GIS, I'm searching, Evergreen Home Builders, LLC. When you pay $835, are you going to pay $835 to knock it down?
Probably not. Well,
Are you going to pay $835, put $250,000 into it, $200K into it, and then try to sell it for $1.4 million, which the comp suggests you could trade for? $1.5 million. Make it quick, $250,000, $300,000.
Yeah.
That's what I think is going to happen. They did something extremely similar to that with a beautiful Spanish stucco home in Ivy. And that address, because I saw it firsthand myself, was, I'm going through the Realtor app. the hell was that house? It traded for like 8 something. 1193 Tillman Road. Sold on the 6th of June for $820K. They remodeled that house soup to nuts. Traded for $820. They bought that house and the lot next to it. They rehabbed that house and then are going to do a custom single-family detached evergreen on the lot next to it. So they used the house that was on this Tillman Road property. They put money into rehabbing it. They sold it for $820, which helped recuperate the money they put into the purchase of that house and the lot next to it.
Yeah.
And then they're going to sell that, build a house next to it, single-family detached, that's Tony and posh,
And
probably in the $1.3 million, $1.4 million range, and make some bank on this. And one of the advantages they have is they're a builder.
Yeah.
It's a very nuanced topic. I think that reporting scratched the surface.
No doubt.
I think you have covered this story better than what was covered.
I mean,
Props to you. You're asking the right questions, dude.
it seems like a pretty obvious question to me, but
It seems like, well, you're in the eye of the storm here because we talk about it.
that's true.
No, but it does seem like a very obvious question. How does the new zoning ordinance impact this trailer park?
I mean,
And if someone's going to spend $7 million on it, they're not going to collect $400, $500, $600 a month rent payments.
and anybody watching what's happened with people like Chris Henry and the dairy market expansions, do they really want to get into the business of trying to build affordable housing? I mean, is it worth it in this city?
I'm going to go to my email. I'm going to type in the search bar, affordable housing. In my search bar, when I type in affordable housing, an email that I put in there should show up from me. There it is. The subject line, affordable housing requirements of the city of Charlottesville. 10% of units on a development that's greater than 9 units must be affordable at 60% of area median income for 99 years.
So wouldn't you just build 8 units?
There it is. 100%. This via DM. Mortgage is going to be $450-ish on one of those homes, and the pad rent is probably $375. So here's a guy that's in the business that's watching the show. You can confirm without using names. Slide him to the Judah Whitcower 2-shot. No names, please. Read that.
Mortgage is going to be $450-ish on one of those homes, and the pad rent. That's exactly what you just read.
Okay, just want to confirm.
Okay.
So the mortgage on one of those homes, if you own it, the guy who's in the game said the mortgage is $450 and the pad rent is $375. So you're talking $825 a month.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to my original statement. Even if you're an owner of one of those trailers, you have the lowest monthly cost of living maybe in the city of Charlottesville.
Okay.
And if you don't own it, and if you're just renting one, you're probably in the same neighborhood. Probably in the same neighborhood as that.
If a little higher.
Maybe a little higher. So you see the new zoning ordinance could be pushing out 60 families who are characterize the 60 families for me.
I mean, the main character in the article, Correos, I think his name was. He's a construction worker. He's lived in Charlottesville for I think 20 plus years. He's obviously made some upgrades to his home, and what are you going to do? It's
Kevin Yancey says this is reminiscent of Southwood. Similar thing happened in Southwood. Hispanic community, very prolific in the Southwood trailer park, down 5th Street and Avon Extended. Redeveloped by, was it Piedmont Housing Alliance, Kevin Yancey, into single-family detached houses. Kevin Higgins says, I attended a Crozet community meeting last year to support a trailer park community in the middle of Crozet, the highest profit area probably anywhere. The residents were concerned with the future. The committee assured the residents they'd be okay. The next week, they required the owner to pay for a multi-million-dollar sidewalk because a trailer was added. That's how it works. There was only one county rep at that meeting. This is a nuanced topic. Great topic for a talk show. And I want to emphasize we empathize and sympathize. I'm emphasizing this, that we empathize and sympathize for the 60 families there. Bill McChesney said he DM'd you a picture of the area map showing all the development near the trailer.
Yeah.
Viewers and listeners, you guys make the show great. I seriously mean that. I mean, look at what Deep Throat has done here. Look at what Bill McChesney has done, Kevin Higgins, Kevin Yancey, and the guy who's in the trailer park game that's DMing us about the mortgages and the rents. John Blair on LinkedIn, my heart breaks for these people, but you also have to think about this. In a city with a housing shortage, a mobile home park isn't particularly dense. I know that it stinks for the residents, but maybe one silver lining would be if the parcels developed into more total housing units. I hate that it's come to this in Charlottesville. I mentioned this live on air. Thank you, John. I mean, the Roger Voisinay, Richard Price interview we did a few weeks ago, where Roger Voisinay is developing a lot in Woolen Mills.
Yeah.
There's an existing house on there, and 4 additional houses are going to come. 3 or 4, if memory serves correct.
Yeah.
He said those homes are going to come to market in the high 6s, 1,500 square feet with an unfinished basement. All right, we got to go to the next topic at 1:15. The heavy hitters coming back by the office today. At what time did he say?
1:30-ish.
All right. What's the next topic? Please.
UVA.
Oh God, let's spend. I'm gonna set the time for 3 minutes on my Apple Watch on this one, because I can go down a rabbit hole for hours on this. Siri, set a timer for 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Counting down.
The University of Virginia is holding diplomas.
I mean, this whole story is just nuts. I'm reading this article and reading UVA's response to some people are alleging that UVA officials are abusing their power in basically how they're overseeing the students in the UJC.
We're on a timer of 3 minutes here, so we got to go
Committee.
efficient tempo here.
And
There's 2. I'm going to go efficient tempo with setting the stage here, okay? For the sake of time. There is 2 UVA salaried employees that got doxxed in this Daily Progress story. Mm-hmm. And these 2 employees probably are regretting the move that they made right now. They are essentially reporting, or they have filed documentation about 4 students that would have graduated in May. And these 2 UVA employees, Donovan Golich and Elizabeth Ortiz, employees of UVA's Division of Student Affairs, are insisting that the University Judiciary Committee hold a hearing on these 4 students with what is being held as punishment, potentially, as leverage, as their diplomas.
yeah.
So these 4 students cannot graduate. It's in the Daily Progress today. They cannot graduate officially without getting these diplomas. And the University Judiciary Committee is not going to meet with these students or hold a hearing for these students until the fall semester. So
gives them time to plan their defense.
So the University Judiciary Committee is positioning it by saying this additional summer time and early fall semester time is going to give you time to plan your defense and present to us the University Judiciary Committee. The 4 students are like, what the hell are you doing? We've got all our credits for graduating. We got our GPAs in place. We got our job interviews lined up. But the jobs we're applying for require a bachelor's degree, and we don't have one until we get that paper.
And we haven't even been charged with anything.
And we haven't legally been charged with anything. And most of the charges, the most damaging of all the charges,
Even to a UVA student.
A photographer hitting the police, those charges were dropped. This makes the University of Virginia look like vindictive d-holes.
And then they argue that...
Why would they do this?
The allegation that following the standard process...
Siri, extend the timer for 90 more seconds.
The allegation that following... the
90 seconds, Siri.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Siri, you
Counting
ignorant...
down.
Go ahead. Go.
The allegation that following the standard process...
Siri!
Grief. Siri, you're only supposed to respond to my voice.
Siri, stop responding to Judah.
Good grief.
So all the Siri, we have 9 Siris in this studio, and they're all activated. This is artificial intelligence is outsmarting us.
Would you like to play thermonuclear war? If anybody gets that reference.
I have no idea what you just said.
The allegation that following the standard process envisioned in UVA's system of student self-governance is somehow retaliatory is not supported by any evidence whatsoever.
Yeah.
Okay, except for the fact that the cases are only brought to the University Judiciary Committee after a complaint is submitted by someone in the UVA community. In this case, the complaints were brought by Donovan Golich and Elizabeth Ortiz, both employees of UVA's Division of Student Affairs.
This is so sketchy.
Students would not face trial and degrees would not be withheld if Ortiz and Golich withdrew their complaints. So tell me again how this is not retaliatory and it's not and UVA is not in charge of what's going on.
Amen, brother.
Because the UJC would not be bringing these charges against the students. It's just these 2 people who are actual UVA employees.
And you made the point in the pre-production meeting, they get all this props and accolades, and I love the University of Virginia. I bleed orange and blue. I went there, my brother went there, my dad went there. You made the point in our pre-production meeting, they get all this positive accolades and attention and awards, and then you have stories like this.
Yeah.
Or the Jewish students on grounds that said they didn't feel safe.
Right?
What the HE double hockey sticks is going on?
Yeah.
This is the definition of spiteful and vindictive. Let the 4 kids that are kids graduate. Give them the degrees. They've already paid you the money. Let them go on with their lives. Don't make them what do they do? Make an example of them.
Whipping boys, I mean, is there even a whiff of what they're supposed to be charged with?
There it is.
Is it just, I don't know, is it congregating on grounds? I mean, you talked about tents and how prevalent they are at games, and this is just... This is
absurd.
These 4 students waking nightmares.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Right. Next headline. Put the lower third on screen. Make sure we're rotating lower thirds in, please. What's the next headline?
Do we want to get into the sleeping ban?
Oh, yeah. We should talk about this. So the Supreme Court voted this past Friday that cities have the ability to ban outside sleeping.
I don't know that they voted that cities have the right. They basically just said the court shouldn't be the one deciding for individual cities.
Yeah. They're saying cities have the choice to ban outdoor sleeping. Yeah. That was Friday. Today in my inbox today, I get an email from the local nonprofit advocacy group Friends of Charlottesville. An idea funded and driven and moved forward by prolific landlord and real estate developer Ludwig Kutner, friend of the program. This group shares this email to me and other downtown property owners and business owners. I will read it verbatim. Following last week's conversation with Police Chief Kachis, Mayor Wade, and Vice Mayor Pinkston, Friends of Charlottesville is organizing an advocacy effort for the business community located on or near the downtown pedestrian mall. We are all on the same team in advocating for a safer, cleaner, more orderly downtown. There does not need to be a false dichotomy between cold and warm hearts. If your business has been affected by the unhoused on the downtown mall, please submit a written testimony to info@friendsofcville.org by July 10th. Friends of CVille will be compiling these testimonials as public record to submit to Charlottesville City Council and presenting them at the City Council meeting on Monday, July 15th. Please include the name and address of your business as well as contact information of the owner. So, Judah, Friday, a Supreme Court decision, 6-3, that basically said cities have the right to ban sleeping outside, even in cities that have housing shortages. By the next Wednesday, before Independence Day, the Downtown Advocacy Group, which I hugely supportive of, Friends of CVille, sends an email out to landlords and downtown business owners that we want to hear your firsthand testimony of how the unhoused population has impacted quality of life in downtown Charlottesville. There are two entities that will drive the charge of keeping this Supreme Court verdict, the Supreme Court decision in the spotlight. Friends of CVille, backed by Ludwig Kutner, among others, and the I Love CVille Network, and Judah B. Wickower. Anything you want to add about this?
I mean, this is going to be a tough one.
This is a tip of the iceberg.
I think you brought up this point last when we talked about it. Was it yesterday? There may be in Virginia, particularly because we're a Dillon Rule state. This may not be as cut and dried as just CVille being able to make this.
This is what I want to know, and I said this when the heavy hitter visited our office before the show. He's coming back after the show. He watches the show. We're in a Dillon Rule state.
Yeah.
Because we're in a Dillon Rule state, can Charlottesville truly call the shot on this?
And I don't.
Or does it need policy from Richmond before it can call the shot?
That would be my
Neil
guess.
Williamson, that's right up your alley. John Blair, that is right up your alley. We're in a Dillon Rule state. The Supreme Court is basically like, dude, it's not us.
Yeah.
It's you guys, figure it out. Can Charlottesville figure it out on his own, or does it first need a green light in Richmond? But I will tell you, we'll keep this Supreme Court decision front and center, and so will Friends of CVille, the advocacy group.
Mm-hmm.
Next topic, 6 minutes before 1:30. What do you got?
Fredericksburg.
Oh, this is a short and sweet one. I'll take this one right here. If the Fredericksburg, this is from the Freelance Star. If the Fredericksburg school system does not provide the personal communication devices, whether they're tablets or computers, e-readers or wireless headphones, cell phones or smartwatches, then students will not be able to use them during the instructional part of the day come August. The Fredericksburg School Board on Monday unanimously passed a policy that bans students from using cell phones as well as other personal devices that aren't provided by the school system when instruction has taken place. This is from the Fredericksburg Free Press. The Fredericksburg City School Board on Monday night unanimously approved a new policy governing the use of personal communication devices in instructional settings. Under the policy and attached regulation, personal communication devices include cell phones, tablets, and smartwatches, among other devices. Elementary school students are not allowed to possess PCDs, while middle and high school student devices must be powered completely off, properly stored away, and not visible in instructional settings during instructional time. Specifically, cell phones must be placed in yonder pouches. The bags, yonder pouches, proprietary storage devices that lock to prevent use. This is maybe the first,
And hopefully not the last.
and hopefully not the last, of school systems in the Commonwealth to do this. Props to Fredericksburg Public Schools. Props to the Fredericksburg School Board.
Yeah.
Next headline.
Mudhouse.
Mudhouse is expanded to Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah.
A Charlottesville business, a coffee shop that has a rabid following, is opening a long-planned Richmond cafe next month. This according to Richmond BizSense. More than 4 years in the making, a Charlottesville-based coffee company long-planned downtown Richmond location is set to open. Mudhouse Specialty Coffee Roasters is aiming to open in the new cafe at 418 West Broad Street in August. The company has been working on this spot since purchasing the building just before the
2020.
pandemic.
Yeah. What a mess. But this is great. I mean, companies don't expand when they're doing terribly.
An entity tied to Mudhouse bought the building, 3,800 square feet on Broad Street in December 2019 for $1,115,000. Props to Mudhouse, props to Charlottesville, expanding into Richmond, a very natural expansion point for Charlottesville success stories. We had a similar success story with Roots Natural Kitchen. Roots Natural Kitchen, a Charlottesville-based business, a Charlottesville-founded business. 2 UVA alumni founded the salad bowl company Roots.
Yeah.
They opened on the UVA corner. Now it has 13 locations, including 3 in the Richmond area. I made the statement, and I stand by this statement, that Roots Natural Kitchen may be the greatest food and beverage success story in Charlottesville, Virginia history. I'm talking about the founders matriculating through UVA, and the first location founded in Charlottesville. You're looking at probably your greatest success story in Charlottesville history, Roots Natural Kitchen. Next headline. Got 2.5 minutes. I think he's actually lurking outside.
He is.
You saw him lurking?
Yep.
Okay, I don't want to make the man wait.
Lynchburg.
Is that the last one?
Yep.
You set the stage on this. Siri, set the timer for 2 minutes. Let's see if Judah can do this in 2 minutes.
I kind of think this one's a non-starter. Basically,
Siri, set the timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Counting
Don't
down.
listen to him.
Alexa is way smarter than Siri.
Oh, yeah?
Way smarter Alexa than Siri. Go ahead. I just cut out 10 seconds of your time.
I don't know. I have some problems with Alexa sometimes.
Go.
Let's see if I can remember enough of the story to go with. Basically, there is a Lynchburg. He's on the school board.
Yeah.
And
3 terms.
He's just starting his third of 3 total that you're allowed to hold.
Consecutive.
Yeah. And he is also a very large donor, mostly to Republican city council members and other areas of the city.
$40,000 plus he's donated to Lynchburg city councilors.
And the Lynchburg school board seats are
Appointed by Lynchburg City Council.
rather than elected.
Like in Almore and Charlottesville.
So it raises the question of, is
he buying a school board seat?
Yeah. The flip side to that part of the story is the fact that despite the 2 Democratic school board members
30 seconds.
being against his third term, apparently his second term he had absolutely nobody against him holding his seat, and it was a largely Democrat-run city council at that point.
That person is driving away with box on their roof down Market Street. Sorry, I just got distracted.
They
Squirrel.
pulled over.
They pulled over?
Yeah.
Okay. So did a rich man buy 3 terms on the Lynchburg School Board by donating more than $40,000 to city councilors in Lynchburg that then appoint the school board members?
And I don't think he did.
Oh, that seems sketchy as all get out, dude.
I mean...
Okay, will you give me this? The optics are sketchy?
Yeah, of course the optics are sketchy, but should he not be allowed to donate? And he is a businessman and has a business, and there are business people and businesses that donate for all kinds of reasons to all kinds of causes and to all kinds of candidates. I think in this case, it's just an optics problem.
That's the Wednesday edition of the I Love CVille Show. Judah Wickhauer has been 3 for 3 with extremely influential and impactful on this show. 3 straight days. Whatever serum or juice you're drinking in the morning, drink it every day. I've been extremely impressed. You've made the program better. I sincerely mean that.
You're going to make me cry.
Judah Wickhauer, Jerry Miller, the I Love CVille Show. We are off tomorrow for the 4th of July. I'm going to hopefully play some squash. I am hopefully going to be eating some seafood, some barbecue, many cold beers, swimming in the swimming pool, watching some fireworks, playing with my kids, my wife, my in-laws, and our German Shepherd, and then going to bed somewhere in the 9 or 10 o'clock hour, more plump, certainly very full and very content than I was when I woke up in the morning. I hope you have a great 4th of July as well.
I plan on doing a lot of that same stuff.
For Judah Wickhauer, I'm Jerry Miller. So long, everybody.